Welcome to today's video where we'll be examining the fascinating world of police interrogation tactics. These methods, often seen in your favorite crime dramas, have a solid foundation in reality. We'll be discussing 5 key techniques, including the Reid Technique, the good cop, bad cop strategy, the peace model, body language reading, and the use of strategic silence. Each of these tactics offers a unique approach to extracting information. So, buckle up and prepare to delve into the psychological warfare that takes place within the interrogation room. Let's dive in, starting with our first tactic, the Reid Technique. Our first tactic, the Reid Technique, is a psychological approach that relies on creating a sense of fear and anxiety. Investigators using this technique will present the suspect with a hypothetical suggesting consequences that can be avoided by confessing. Let's take a practical example. An investigator might tell the suspect, "Imagine this, we found your fingerprints at the crime scene. You could be in serious trouble, a long prison sentence perhaps, but if you confess now, we can work with you, maybe reduce your charges." The ultimate goal is to make the suspect feel that confession is the only way out, that it's their best option given the circumstances. Coming up next is the good cop, bad cop routine, a staple in the realm of crime dramas. This strategy is genuine as it gets. Imagine this setting. The bad cop storms into the interrogation room, slamming his fists on the table, accusing the suspect with harsh words. Meanwhile, the good cop steps in, placing a calming hand on the bad cop's shoulder. He turns to the suspect, his voice sympathetic, understanding, asking them to explain their version of events. The suspect, entangled in this emotional crossfire, often feels more drawn to the good cop, seeing them as a potential ally in this intimidating scenario. This is a practical example of how one investigator plays the aggressive, intimidating role, while the other approaches with empathy and understanding. The third tactic, the peace model, takes a more ethical approach. An acronym for preparation and planning, engage and explain, account, closure, and evaluation. This technique prioritizes rapport building and truth-seeking over confession extraction. Investigators using the peace model approach, suspects with respect, fostering an environment of trust to encourage open communication. For instance, an investigator might commence the process by thoroughly preparing all the necessary documentation and details. They would then engage the suspect, explaining to them the procedure they're about to undertake, ensuring transparency. Following this, the suspect is requested to provide their account of the events. The investigator listens carefully, allowing the suspect to express their perspective without interruption. Once the account phase has been completed, the investigator then proceeds to closure, where they summarize the suspect's account and ask for any additions or modifications. The final step, evaluation, involves the investigator sifting through the suspect's account, looking for any inconsistencies or gaps in the story. This practical example of the peace model showcases its ethical and respectful approach to investigation. The fourth aspect to consider is the use of body language. Skilled investigators have the ability to pick up on minute cues that might reveal if a suspect is being honest or concealing the truth. They meticulously look for mismatches between what is being said and how it is physically being expressed. This knowledge then steers their line of questioning. For instance, if the investigator notices that suspect consistently avoids making eye contact when responding to specific questions, it might be a telltale sign that they are not being entirely truthful. This real-life example provides practical insight into how the mastery of reading body language can be pivotal during an investigation. Before we delve deeper into our last tactic, we'd like to take a moment to engage with you, our valued audience. Your support is what keeps us going and allows us to continue providing you with fascinating content like this. If you're enjoying this video and finding it informative, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and give us a like. Your likes help us reach a wider audience and inspire us to create more content in line with your interests. Also, we'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Is there a particular topic you'd like us to tackle in the future? Any feedback or suggestions you might have? Remember, this channel is as much yours as it is ours. We're here to investigate the topics you find most intriguing, so don't be shy. Drop us a line in the comments and let's make this journey of discovery a collaborative one. Now, let's delve into our final police interrogation tactic, the strategic use of silence. Our last tactic is the strategic use of silence. It may seem counterintuitive, But sometimes saying nothing at all can be the most effective strategy. Silence creates discomfort, and people often rush to fill it with conversation, potentially revealing more than they intended. As a practical example, consider an investigator interrogating a suspect. The investigator might pause after asking a difficult question, intentionally creating an uncomfortable silence. Under the pressure of this silence, the suspect may feel compelled to fill it, often revealing more information than they initially intended. To recap, we've explored 5 common police interrogation tactics: the Reid Technique, the good cop, bad cop routine, the peace model, using body language and strategic silence. Each tactic is unique, designed to navigate the complex psychological landscape of a suspect's mind. Some prioritize confession, others truth-seeking, but all are tools in the investigator's toolbox, integral to the art of police interrogation. So, the next time you find yourself engrossed in a gripping crime novel or TV show, remember these tactics. You might just find yourself reading between the lines, deciphering the subtle strategies at play in the interrogation room. And who knows, you might even solve the mystery before the final chapter.